David, I got so pumped up before the game. I'm just so ready for the game. I'm pumped up. I've watched the pre-match.
I was watching the pump up earlier.
And I'm like, we're going to do it. We've got Matt Doherty at right back, but it doesn't matter. We're still going to do it. And what happens? We lose to the lowest ranked team in the competition. I mean, explain it to me, David.
I mean, look, first of all, lads, I try my best, I've done the impossible job today. I've done the Lord's work getting everyone pumped up for this. I mean, but look, I hear people, defending Ndombele with tactics, playing in this deeper role. And I hear people defending Dele Alli and all this sort of crap. Look, at the end of the day, you don't need tactics to turn up and beat these. You just need 11 players who want to try and want to enjoy playing football. It's all you need. You don't need tactics. You don't need anything else. These are absolutely crap. Make no mistake about it. I know they turned us over tonight, but they are crap. We should be beating these every day of the week. Every day of the week. Now, we're talking like, look, there's a load of dross out there, and it's the same thing. When you keep seeing these players, these results keep happening. These exact same players. There's only a couple of players out there that tried tonight. I mean, Ndombele, he's virtually non-existent out there. He was virtually non-existent. I mean, I was looking in the second half. I was kind of like, is the guy even playing? He's even playing. I look at him, he's just strolling around, telling people to pass it away from him. You look at Matt Doherty, I mean, absolutely useless. I mean, I tried to pump him up before the game by calling him the Irish Cafu, but, at the end of the day, he was absolutely useless. I mean, Cesc Young, they roll him out yesterday in the press conference, begging for a chance, making everyone feel sorry for him. I've had a tough time. And he goes out and does that. I mean, no excuse for it. No excuse for it. You have Dele Alli. I mean, I was just excited to see what colour he'd have in his hair today. I'll be honest with you, the walking crayon, it's all he is. Absolutely useless.
And it was red. And he had red in his hair as well.
Yeah, he must miss ketchup that bad. He thought he'd be Heinz ketchup bottle for the day. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm fed up with it. Davinson Sanchez done by the same move twice. People say about this guy, no, he's better than what he is. Look, I've said it time and time about this guy. He will switch off, and when he switches off, he costs you. He switched off twice today, got done with the same move. Yeah. I mean, the first one, people can say he slipped. I mean, he's already 10 yards away from him. He's already shown him inside to have a shot before he even slipped. The second goal, he again, done by the same move. Shows and lets him cut inside and puts the ball in the net. I mean, both goals, you just show him down the outside. Yeah. Get him to back himself and you defend it. He refuses to do it. Not good enough. Now, we're talking between Joe Rodon, Tanganga, and Sanchez to come in for Romero. These next few weeks up until the January transfer window, and they better act early, is going to be very, very tough. I'm just absolutely fed up with it. Look, you're talking about players who consistently come out in the press. They blame managers. They make all these little remarks. They blame everything else. I mean, I know they weren't playing tonight. Ben Davies did come on, but, they blamed the manager. They blamed the pitch, the atmosphere is intimidating. There was too much water on the pitch. The Christmas dinner last year was burnt, overcooked. I mean, I'm absolutely sick of it. I'm absolutely fed up. When are we just going to start holding these players accountable? Now, let's bear in mind, these are players that drive the nicest cars, big sport Range Rovers. They go home to their gated communities. They probably have a little swim in the pool or relax on their big, cinema chair with their big cinema TV. They get up in the morning. They have their breakfast made by a cook and everything else. They have the very best standard in life. I mean, there's people that go out there that work for 300 quid a week and get shit on week in, week out. And if they don't perform, they lose their job. We have to start holding some of these players to account here. We have to.
Well, that sounds like what Conte
passion,
was. Yeah. Oh, look. Well, you don't get anything less than 100% passion from David.
Acknowledgement to the passion.
But what do you make of the comments Conte has been making in his press conference today? He was talking. Let me read another one from you. He said the club is outstanding from the outside to create a stadium, but now we start from behind. It's important to know this because I'm not a magician, and after 3 weeks, I found players that want to work and have great commitment, but sometimes work and commitment is not enough. What do you think he's saying? Is he saying these players simply are just not good enough for what he wants?
I mean, just make me Tottenham Hotspur manager. I said this is the very first thing I said when I ever appeared on this show, lads. I mean, the thing is, every manager that comes in, they're always going to give some of these players a chance. They're always going to wipe the slate clean. But it's just who can realise it earlier than what the rest. Look, Nuno realised it too late. Jose realised it too late. Hopefully Conte now can pull the brakes on this quickly. Stop giving them a chance. I mean, Look, people say you can't make them go and trade with the under-23s. They're humans and everything else. Yeah, but they're superhumans. They're exceptionally paid for it as well. At the end of the day, if they're not pulling them away, send them off to the under-23s and bring over the likes of Harvey White, Dylan McCandy, players like that who deserve, and get them in there who will bust their bollocks in training, and even whatever minutes they're given, they will bust their bollocks. The problem is we have overpaid superstars who are jealous of what each other are earning, and they're not out there performing. They are just not out there performing. They could not give
But David, Conte says he has found players that want to work and have great commitment, but sometimes it's not enough. So he's saying they do want to work, and he's saying they do have commitment, but he's saying they're just not good enough, I guess.
Yeah, that's what he's saying, I think.
No, look, you have to read through this. Look, he's not going to sit here today as we speak and say, look, Ndombele's Ronald McDombele. He's not going to say Dele Alli's a walking crayon. You know, he's just not going to do it. But once he can shift some of these players and get new players in, you'll hear the true things. He's not going to do it because he's not going to alienate any of the players, because he knows he needs to use these to get us at least until January, until he can get help. He's not going to alienate any of them. But look, he's already said, yeah, there's players here that want to work hard. Now, he's going to say that. But at the end of the day, what he's saying is just some of them are shit. They're not good enough. But, I mean, tonight, you can't tell me it was down to, like, we lost because the other team worked harder than it, or that we lost, or we lost, but we worked hard. You can't tell me that. I mean, we just didn't work hard whatsoever. I mean, you're talking 12 minutes in. I thought I was watching the Wimbledon final. The ball was just going from end to end, just ping-ponging. I mean, we're Tottenham Hotspur. I mean, get out there, represent the badge and everything with pride. Like I was talking about before the game. You know, put some respect on this club. Go out there, get your foot on the ball, zip it around with purpose and pace. We didn't do it. We want to take 2, 3, 4 touches and do everything at walking pace. It's not good enough. It's not the standards that we should be seeing at Tottenham Hotspur.
David, Conte's also said, you know, after 3 weeks, he's now starting to see what the problems are at Tottenham, and he's saying the solutions are not very simple, and he's starting to see that the standards at the quality at Tottenham is not very high. Are you at all worried that maybe Conte is starting to see this job might be bigger than he first anticipated?
Yeah, of course. I'm worried. Look, not only in January could we be looking for new players, we could be looking for a new manager too. Let's be real about it. This guy will walk. If he's not happy, he will walk. If he sees it as a burning, as a club that's just falling apart, no one that really inside the club that really wants to kind of do that and about it, he will walk. He doesn't want to be a part of that. He's not going to ruin his legacy. He's not going to let Ndombele, Dele Alli, Doherty, Sanchez, players like this who keep rolling out in these games and keep seeing these results. He's not going to let them ruin his reputation or career. So come the January transfer window, it's important that he gets the help he needs. You ship out the players he wants out, and you bring in the players he wants in. Look, we all seen the thing that was brought out the other day about owners putting their hands in the pocket. Mm-hmm. You know, you look at Man City, 837 million, Chelsea 559 million, Villa 434 million, Everton 348 million, Brighton 319 million, Leicester 310 million, all out of their own pocket. Clubs that you would look at on various levels compared to where they're at, they've had decent enough success. You know, you look at Tottenham, we've spent 0. You look at Burnley, their owners have put in 2 million or 5 million. You look at Norwich, their owners have put in 2 million. You look at the football we're seeing on the pitch. It's at Newcastle, Burnley, and Norwich's standard, and it's going that way. The thing is, the owners, like, they have to put the money in when it's needed. I get it. Look, I get the financial model. You know, and the thing is, I'm not asking them to go to Chelsea or City's lengths either. I'm not asking them to go to that extreme lengths. But this is over a decade. You look at Liverpool, who are sitting somewhere in the middle with 200 and something million spent by the owners out of their own pockets. And look at the success they've got. You know, the Klopp got to a Champions League final. They didn't back up, or the Liverpool board backed them. They went out and got them the keeper, and they went on and won it the next year, and they got the league title as well. You know, we were at that stage with Pochettino, and we decided we'd sack a manager and not throw the money in. We had 3 windows that we had to sit through, and they didn't put a penny in. Now, they're the times where you're asking them just to come out and help the club out, put the money into the club. Now, the thing is, if we keep going with this model, we will end up just falling further and further behind, especially with our crap recruitment. And let me tell you why, because the thing is, by the time this model generates enough money for us to really start competing at with the way some of the big boys are now in the transfer market, well, we're already going to be left behind because it's going to go up even further again. So we're always going to be playing catch-up doing this model. This has to change. I cannot stress this enough. It has to change.
And
will it though? I don't think it will it? That's the problem.
No,
it's just the
won't.
ultimate sustainability model, but it's not built for any kind of success whatsoever. And I think David's right. I mean, it's just how long are we going to keep putting up with this? And just every window that goes by, we're just going to fall further and further behind because we're just not investing to the same level as the top 4 clubs. So unless you bring in a manager that's going to pull a rabbit out of the hat like Poch did, with what he did, it was absolute miracles what he was really doing.
It was.
Wasn't it?
That's
if you think of it, he was doing everything on a shoestring. Unless you get a manager like that who can pull a rabbit out of the hat, he's just not going to keep up.
But look, as well as much as Levy as Levy and they do have to take a lot of the blame on this, you also have to put. Like, when they do put people in place, you also have to hold them accountable. You look at Steve Hitchen, he brought in Lo Celso, who just hasn't worked out. He's brought in Ndombele, who hasn't worked out. He brought in Doherty, who just hasn't worked out. He's brought in other players who have not worked out. His recruitment has been absolutely shocking. He's brought in Sessegnon, Jack Clark. I mean, he spent 25 million on Sessegnon, and we brought some for 22 million. Things just don't add up. He has to be held accountable for what he's done as well. A lot of the players, there's even the likes of Serge Aurier, who's been brought in and gone. It's just not good enough. His transfer dealings, it's shocking. How is he still walking around Tottenham Hotspur, if he's not making tea or in there cleaning the pots with Doris after lunch? Because it's absolutely shocking. When you have to start holding accountability, but us fans too. Stop making excuses for some of these players who clearly just don't put it in. I mean, if Ndombele can perform against Newcastle, why can't he perform against Enes Mura? The thing is, lads, right, I've gone through hard times with Ireland over the last decade. I mean, I've gone through the mire with them. I've gone through the mud. I've gone through the trenches. But the thing is, as bad as they were, I've always seen heart, desire, and passion and willingness to run for the jersey and for the country. I do not see that with these players out there, and that's what hurts. That's what hurts. At least if you're losing, at least try. There was no effort out there whatsoever. It's just not good. And us fans have to start holding these players accountable, start holding the likes of Hitchen accountable, and hold Levy accountable. The thing is, I will say, look, if Conte walks, because it's backing or whatever else, get out in your jobs and make your voices heard. Because the reason why I'm sitting here angry, upset, we're all sitting here talking about losses like this, is because of neglect, because of poor transfer dealings. And all that sort of stuff, because the owners haven't put money in. And that's why we're sitting here talking about these results.
Bang on.
David, absolute facts.
Bang on, mate. Yeah.
Absolute brilliant stuff. And just finally talking about where we're now left with this group. We're needing a win against Rennes in the final group game to make sure we go through. With Vitesse playing Mura in the final group games, they're probably going to win that one. With the Christmas period coming thick and fast, it's going to put more pressure on an already thin squad, because even if we do win, we're going to have to play another playoff, which is in more extra games before we actually reach the knockout stages. We're going to have to play, I think, dropouts from Europa League in a playoff to make it through to the knockout stages of the Conference League. What do you expect going to the last group game? Are you of the opinion we need to go full strength to make sure we go through, or do you think with the busy Christmas period we have to be resting players and we have to make sure that we're focusing on the league campaign, or do you think if we do that we're at major risk of going out?
No, I couldn't care less. Look, put the pressure on them. It's what they deserve. You were just making the excuses for them. Put them out there, roll them out there, and make sure they get the job done. That's it. Simple as. Look, Conte wants to take it seriously. I want to win trophies. I mean, I'm sick of our trophy cabinet not being empty. I'm sick of being disappointed. I want the trophies in the cabinet. It's a trophy on offer. I want to win it. I want to be the first ones to win it. I want to create a little bit of history. I want the trophies. I'm not giving them the excuses. Put the full squad out there. You could even mix it up. You could put maybe 7 or 8 first teamers and put in 2 or 3 kind of in the right positions. I think Conte would have the nous to do that, where you might get away with it and still get the job done. But ultimately, I want the job done. I want to get through. I mean, if we go out of this, it is an absolute embarrassment. I mean, an embarrassment, something we will never, ever be able to live down. It's like tonight's going to be hard enough, but if we go out of this, I mean, we're going to be an absolute laughingstock. I want to go through. I want to win the trophies. We have to. Look, we have to be demanding it. Every other big club that ever finds themselves in this situation where they have a bit of decline and stuff like that, their fans still want them to go and win that trophy. And we must start demanding the same. I mean, we have an absolute magnificent stadium, world class. I mean, you can abseil into your seat now if you want. You have the best training ground and everything else. I mean, you know what I mean?
Brilliant.
Let's start demanding the trophies. Let's start demanding the quality from the players. And let's just start demanding as fans. Because once we keep making these excuses for the players, these players think they can get away with it.
Did you do the halftime team talk against Leeds by any chance? Shout
No,
out to
look,
Matt Hayes.
No, I haven't. But you know, maybe they should get me in there because I'm not messing. I would have, as soon as Ali walked in at halftime, I would have swung around by his dreadlocks into the ice bath. As soon as Endo Belly walked in, I would have filled the table with McDonald's, made him sit there and eat every single one of them. You know, just because. You know, I would start holding these counters for players, but like, okay, you don't want to perform, but then you're going to sit here and do what you really want to do. Be Ronald McDonald. Dele Alli, you don't want to perform. Then I'm going to call in the hairdresser and you can get another colour put in your hair at halftime and explain to the fans why you have another colour after the game. Because you don't want to play football. You're just too interested in everything else. I'm absolutely fed up with it. Look, it's only Tottenham Hotspur we make excuses for these players. We need to start, as fans, start acting like big clubs and start demanding like big clubs. Like, people tell me, you know, it's Tottenham Hotspur. I can't demand for trophies. I mean, I got into supporting this club because my outlet told me about the European nights, told me about the trophies we used to win. We used to pick up a couple of trophies every single decade. I want to get back to that. I know some people are going to disagree with me, but look, we're all in football because we want to win trophies. Yes, we love the club. A lot of people, it's from the area where they are. Like me, it's like passed down from generations. You know what I mean? But for whatever way you support Tottenham, but my God, you want to be winning the trophies. Let's start demanding it.
All right, David. Whew. Lovely to hear from you.
I think that's your finest hour, mate. I think that was.
Well, he's had many fine.
No,
hours.
You have.
David
But I mean, that was just
many fine an hour.
Yeah,
and
brilliant.
always great to get you on the pump up as well. You tried your best. It obviously wasn't enough to get the players pumped up as much as the fans were, but another great job today as well, David. Thank you for doing the pump up yet again. Yeah, go on. What do you want to say?
Just lastly, as well. Sorry, I want to say to Levy, I want to say to the players, you get your pockets out, you get the wallets out, and you put in for all them fans that travel over there tonight. I want them to be reimbursed. I want, even down to the packet of peanuts they had on the Aer Lingus flight, I want it reimbursed. You know, these guys give this club tremendous support. Week in, week out, travel to all these away games. And that is not acceptable. Put your hands in your pocket and reimburse them every single penny.
I agree with that.
Especially the 270 that made their way out there.
Exactly.
Can you imagine
going to Slovenia to watch that rubbish.
All the way to see that.
Absolute waste of space. David, as always, absolute pleasure talking to you. Hopefully on the weekend we get a bit more positivity and a better result. But what was ultimately one of the most embarrassing nights in Tottenham history tonight. So I think you've been absolutely spot on in all what you said. And always great to talk to you as always, mate.
No, absolutely love it. Look, you know me, I'll be back here with a big stupid smile on my face Sunday, getting the team ready to go. Look, you know, we just have to try and get behind what we can. We're going to see ups and downs. Let's just enjoy the highs when they're there. Just quickly, John Cooper, give Harry Kane a break today, my man. Come on. You know, you got the goal at the end of the day.
You just said we're making too many excuses for players, and now you're doing it.
No. But Harry Kane scored the goal tonight. I mean, he tried. Yeah, he had a couple of sloppy touches, but he genuinely was out there trying tonight.
I didn't see it that way. I thought he was absolutely atrocious today.
I mean, look,
that was the worst. He was the worst player on the pitch today.
No, he wasn't. Come on, he wasn't.
He was worse than Dembele, worse than Dele Alli. Come on, now, John.
I think he gave the ball away 9 times in the first half from like quite simple positions, not even like running onto the ball. He was dreadful, David. Come on, stop making excuses for him.
I'm just going to leave you with a bit of food for thought because I am going because Sim wants me out. There's more people. We all have dinners to get stuff like that. So I'm just going to leave you with food for thought, John. You know what? Look.
No,
so
you're bang on with Dele Alli. You're bang on when you talk about Dele Alli not good enough and some of these players. But then, for some reason, he's got like a halo effect around him. Like he was He was dreadful today. Let's be honest. Yeah, but he was still dreadful.
He still scored. Who else scored? Anyone else?
It doesn't matter.
No,
he went up from a 3 to a 4.
Look, John. Look, listen to me. We can sit here and berate Harry Kane all we want. At the end of the day, he's our top scorer. And I know you're going to say I can't count Europa League conference goals, but you counted Lucas Moura's Europa Conference League assists. So if you do that, I can count his goals. And the thing is, at the end of the day, the fact of the matter is he is our top scorer. He's the only one that scored tonight. You can do all the running you want. And I admire Lucas. He works hard. I am a part of your club, John. Believe me. He works hard and everything else. But at the end of the day, goals is what win your games. And you want us to take the goals out of the team. But I'm sorry. If anyone's going to get the goals, Harry Kane is, not Lucas Moura. And that's
Yeah,
been
no, I agree
proven.
with that. No, I agree with that. Yeah, but I still think he had a poor game today. I do. I just think he was sluggish. He was sloppy. I think that's probably one of the worst performances I've seen. But he did get the goal, and that's kind of what you get with Harry Kane, isn't it? So, I mean, you're right. If you take him out, there isn't many apart from maybe Sonny, and then you might get the odd goal from like a Reguilon or a Højbjerg. But we're really struggling, aren't we, with goal scorers? So that is the kind of thing. That's the kind of that's the reality we're kind of in. But it still doesn't take it away.
I'm going to end the debate between you. I'm going to end the debate between you and Sim because look, at the end of the day, we need Harry Kane, we need Lucas, we need Son. Let's stop comparing the three of them and separating. We need all of them. Look, I see people put down the likes of Højbjerg and Skip like that. At the end of the day, they're the ones that try. I know I said kind of look, ease up on Harry Kane and you compared it to Dele Alli and Ndombele, but I'm not doing that because at the end of the day, Harry Kane has proven consistently year on year he cares. Yeah, he started off slow, he's sluggish and everything else. I do think he will score the goals. But the reason why I say give him a break, I say it about Skip, I say it about Højbjerg and Lucas and players like that as well, is because by doing this, all we're doing is letting Ndombele get away with it. We're letting Dele Alli and players like that get away with it. Lay the blame at their doors. They're the ones that are really, really letting us down. I get it, people are angry at Harry Kane. He probably wasn't on the best form at the start of the season, but he's getting better. But let's stop dividing Lucas Moura, Harry Kane, and Son. We need all three of them. Start putting the blame at the players' doors that really need it.
All right. That's
all right. Finish
facts.
it off.
I think he's absolute facts there.
Of course, you'd say that.
Absolute
no,
facts
I agree with
David.
that. I think you just need to get all those firing, together.
Agreed. We need all of them. We need all of them.
We need all of them.
And that's the thing. David, absolute pleasure as always, my friend.